Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. The man who threw a personal best at the very first throw, Sumit Antil, has won the gold medal in javelin throw F64 category. Rohan was there witnessing every throw, every action. Rohan, when you talk about Sumit, he dominated throughout. Every throw had gold written on it. There was no chance you expected anything less.
Gargi, it was quite expected, because I have seen Sumit throw in Hangzhou Asian Games also. Uh, his gold medal was expected, kind of expected, and I think he also knows that because he was okay with the gold with the 70 plus crossing the 70-meter mark, but he was going for the world record. ठीक है अभी क्या हो गया है सुमित अंटिल इज इन हिज ओन लीग ही competes his with himself he tries to break his own records he इसका पहला वाला पैरालंपिक रिकॉर्ड उसका था आज उसने किया आज ही उसको तोड़ के दूसरा रिकॉर्ड बना दिया सो ही इज हिज ओन कंपटीटर नाउ एंड इफ यू सी द फोर्थ एंड फिफ्थ अटेम्प्ट्स ही वाज वो फिर भी 69 66 मार रहा था बाकी से काफी आगे but he was not satisfied because he was going for that world record 73 जो हंगजाओ में मारा था I was quite lucky enough to witness that also and this one also so I have seen both his gold medals but yes he is a different breed of an athlete what a fantastic performance.
I mean, that was quite, you could there was no doubt about it that he's in a different league because no one was getting even close to him, not even close.
But
And yeah,
सबसे बड़ा हाई पॉइंट था आज का कि 3 Indian throwers in the event so that was no other country had even 2 participants but India had 3 participants so that was a great that was great to see in a field event in athletics we are having 3 athletes in the final so it's quite good to see that on a foreign soil on such a big platform because and I think javelin को अभी हमारा national game बना दो भाई with Neeraj and Sumit
yeah,
बना दो अभी
two superstars from javelin. Two, we have
हाँ
Sumit
भाई
Antil and Neeraj Chopra. मतलब दोनों ही बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं. And when you talk about the crowd, Sumit, Rohan, because I was
अरे
watching live
बाप रे मुझे
I was
सुमित बना
watching,
दो
yeah. I was watching live on. You throw your tripod.
क्या क्या
Tripod फेंको तुम.
नहीं नहीं
No, but I was
हाँ बट
watching live on
क्राउड
YouTube.
क्राउड हाँ
Yes.
फैंटास्टिक
So
था भाई फैंटास्टिक था क्राउड एंड क्या बोलूं मैं सुमित वाज द फैंस क्राउड फेवरेट आई वोंट से fans favorite because I don't know how many Indians were there. I could see some Indian flags, but he was the crowd favorite, and he is much known in this crowd. So when he was coming down the tunnel, he was waving his hand, and the crowd was cheering. And every time he started the run up, the crowd was cheering. Every time his javelin flew and was going, the crowd was cheering. So he got the maximum crowd cheer, I would say. सुनाई नहीं दे रहा म्यूट पे हो
oh, sorry. I mean, all Indian athletes, all Indian Paralympians are winning hearts worldwide. You talk about Shital Devi, you talk about Sumit Antil. They are, how to say this? They are impacting worldwide, and everyone is talking about them when it comes to social media. But
it's quite
Sunny
good to
Singh
see
is saying, Sunny Singh is saying 73 not a world record.
अरे अब आज का नहीं he was trying to beat his
Yeah,
own
he's
world
trying.
record
Yes.
he was trying to beat his own world record जो हैंगजाओ में था
Huh. But before Sumit Antil left for Paris, I talked to him at the event,
yes
at the send off event, and I asked him, about defending his goal. Who do you think? Who did he think were his biggest competitors? And he broke no sweat. He was breaking no sweat because he knew कि उनका एक ही
he is his
competitor है, that is
he is
Sumit
his
Antil.
own competitor
Yeah.
he is his own
But
competitor yes
definitely. But Rohan, you have followed his journey from Hangzhou to Paris. What has changed? Do you think anything has gone up, or has it stayed consistent?
yes if you see his records it's quite consistent he has been throwing 68 67 69s quite consistently. Like we say for Neeraj, he throws in that 85-meter range quite often. Yes, he is not getting the 90-meter mark, but he is consistent in that 85-meter range. So for Sumit also, he is in that 68, 67, 69 category range. Yes, he breaks the 70-meter mark. He breaches the 70-meter mark quite often, but he has been consistent. 66 plus to 70, he has that has been his consistent range. So it shows how big of an athlete he is and how consistent he is. The only thing I think is driving him right now is to break that uh, own world record. सुमित भी लाइक कंपटीशन ये क्या होता है.
वो खुद ही कंपटीशन है. लेकिन I mean, Sumit has been incredible. What do you even say about that? But when we talk
तुम
about,
अपना रिएक्शन बोलो कैसा लगा देख के.
बहुत अच्छा लगा. You know, because when we see Indian athletes dominating in any other game than cricket, it's always special.
हाँ, वही.
It's always special, and especially if you have, the whole crowd behind them, because the crowd was erupting every time Sumit Antil was throwing a successful
Sakti,
हाँ.
Sakti.
whatever. I think Sharmishta has joined us.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Yes, yes, I can hear you and I can speak. I can't put on my camera for the next 5 minutes. I'm still getting out of the stadium, but yes, I can speak.
Yes, Sharmishta, you were there. You witnessed this competition. We can't even call it a competition because Sumit Antil was in a league of his own. What do you say
Yes,
about
yes, no one was, yeah, no one was even close. And in the last round, the Sri Lankan, he caught up. He was third behind the Australian. That's right, Rohan, isn't it? He was behind the Australian.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he, he did very well and he came second, but he was still nowhere close to Sumit. And I think the crowd, I mean, where I was sitting in the hospitality box, everyone was Sakti, everyone was cheering for Sumit because they clearly knew he was the champion, and he had the full support of the crowd where I was sitting, and everyone was cheering for him. It was like, it was more than a carnival. It was like, a Roman amphitheater. And athletics, of course, is like that. You have so many parallel events happening. You have, the discus, you have javelin, you have the 100 meters, men's and women's, and then you have the right under below where I was sitting. You had the men's long jump happening. So it's kind of sometimes difficult to keep your eyes on one sport. There's so much happening, but Sumit kept us pretty much captivated, and he was, way ahead all the time.
Yeah. Swati is asking why the Sri Lankan has a world record because he was in a different category.
So
Yeah, he
the
was in
clubbing was
F44.
between F44, 45,
Yeah.
46. Sumit was F64.
Yes.
Yeah. So there were different categories clubbed together. So that's a bit tricky, but yes, it was fun. Watching Sumit and watching javelin after the recent success of javelin हमारा इंडियन स्पोर्ट्स में काफी अच्छा लगता है अभी. एंड आई थिंक वो
Yes.
जो हम बात कर रहे थे कंपटीशन आई थिंक वो between the other athletes was who will get the silver and who will get the bronze medal position, because
Yes.
gold was already sealed शुरू से. And
Yes, that's right. Gold was sealed.
वही
You,
चल रहा
you
था.
know, and at one point I thought Sumit could have won a gold with any of these throws. Uh,
Yes,
and
because if you
he,
see,
yeah,
he got 169, 269s I think, and
yes,
170.
yes, and two, one of them was a foul. So yeah, basically he could have won a gold with any of those throws. So even his competitors, I think at that point must have thought that might as well compete for silver
वो
because
Arshad वाला याद आ रहा था कि if you consider Arshad's two best throws, it was Arshad with gold, Arshad with silver, and then the third place. So इधर भी वैसे ही था शायद. Sumit with gold, Sumit with silver, and then the bronze.
And it was such
Sharmishta,
a proud
hmm,
moment to see. Sorry. Yes,
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 tell
go
me.
ahead.
No, I was saying it was such a proud moment, to see Sumit, when finally he had gotten the goal, to see him on the large screen. And, he ran up to where the coach and the support staff were there. And, he took the tricolor, and it was such a proud moment. And then they had a Hindi song playing. Now, I don't know what song this is. मैंने पी रखी है मैंने पी रखी है I don't know what this song is, totally inappropriate for the occasion, but clearly a very joyous celebration.
अरे
Rohan, what song was that? You will know better than me.
I didn't hear because I came out rushed out because बहुत दूर चल के आना पड़ता है to join the live. I'm outside now. मुझे अभी अंदर जाना होगा to attend the mix zone. But I think the if you talk about the song, I think ये कोई फ्रेंच डीजे है जिसको बोला है कि भाई कोई इंडियन सॉन्ग गाना दे दो,
For
किसी ने भी
Indian
दे
song,
दिया
right?
तो
So
चला
मैंने
गया.
पी रखी है is I will have to do my research and see which पी रखी है song this is, but clearly something which they understand as a joyous Indian song, and they have played that.
But Shormishta,
बट
I want to ask
बट
you
गाइस जी
about.
मैं अंदर जाऊँ, मैं मुझे
हाँ
मिक्स
हाँ
जोन
हाँ,
जाना
of
है तो
course,
मैं
of course.
अंदर जा रहा हूँ. So Mr. Dey, I'll meet you after the mix zone.
Yes, yes, I'm just getting out of the stadium and I can put my video on, but I can keep talking.
या
Yes, yes.
ओके,
So,
क्योंकि मुझे अंदर जाना है बहुत अभी. ठीक है, बाय बाय.
uh-huh. Bye. So Rohan will get us the mixed zone, everything that's going to happen. He's going to ask Sumit Antil a lot of questions. So the occasion, it deserves it. But Shormishta, I was asking you about the crowd. How incredible has it been? And it has rallied
Softy,
behind Indian athletes because when you look at it, they have had an
softy
impact
there.
on the global audience when it comes to Shital, Sumit, and now it's been incredible. Even Nitesh.
Yes, they are building themselves a global following because people know their names, people know their standing, people are following and cheering for them. And even Yogesh, when the Sumit's event ended and I was just getting up to go, he was on the podium. That was again another very proud moment. So I think all of these para athletes are slowly building up. I mean, not slowly. Sumit is already there, but their following internationally is gaining ground day by day.
Yes, and you talk about that song. Some people in our comment section are telling that
Can I go,
it's a
Sakti?
it's a it's a song from a
Sorry, I'm
recent
just
movie.
asking for the gate out. Yes, yes.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a. Which movie is this? It's a song from a recent movie, is it?
Uh, Tu Jhooti Main Makkar. It is a movie with
Right,
Ranveer
right.
and Shraddha
Something
Kapoor.
like that. Right, right. You trust the
Yes,
DJs to dig up the most recent and yes. But
and I remember.
Sumit's body language was clearly. I mean, it's he I'm here to conquer. That kind of body language, and that was so reassuring to see. I mean, as an Indian, that was so reassuring to see.
I mean, I think at one point Sumit also knew. Not at one point. I think he entered the competition knowing that he was the best out there. Of course, having the gold medal from Tokyo as well. But this was incredible to watch from Sumit. He was looking so. His will was so ironed. I think it was one of the most incredible moments to watch as an Indian sports fan, and especially when it happens in Paralympics in front of a growing audience as well. Because I was on the YouTube live, and so many people were actually watching the final, and it was so heartwarming to see people, discussing everything, all the categories and whatever in the comment section, and talking about Sumit, rallying behind Sumit. So it was incredible to watch. And when we talk about that song, actually, I remember after Avni's final, also after she had won that gold, Desi
Yeah.
Boys started playing, and and I thought it's a fun song, but it's a women's game right now. But anyway, that.
Yeah, right. I mean, and it's like I think they do a bit of research. So मैंने पी रखी है. I think that I'm raising a toast, I've raised my champagne or
Yes,
something like that. We don't do that so much in Indian culture, of course, but it's par for the course here.
yes. Um, Okay. Abhay Pratap was saying that more than 20,000 people were watching on YouTube. Yes, they were. There were a lot of people watching the Sumit Antil final, and it's been incredible to watch how much global following these Paralympians have got. With Shital Devi going viral on social media, I'm just opening Twitter and everywhere I'm just looking at international athletes, journalists, celebrities talking about Sheetal Devi, talking about this 17-year-old armless archer who's just winning hearts, at such a young age and absolutely setting the stage on fire. And she won the bronze in the mixed event today as well. So it's been incredible to watch all the Indian Paralympians.
And I'm
Sure.
so glad because I got I was in the athletics Stade de France, and I got the news of Sheetal on our group. And I was so very delighted because, we were all so disappointed when she, missed a medal. We thought she would get the medal in her, in her solo category. So those visuals of her hugging her coach Abhilasha, and her. Sheetal doesn't register a lot of emotion. I think, she's too overwhelmed. She's so young. She's too overwhelmed with all of this. So she doesn't register a lot of emotion. Unlike Sumit, I mean, Sumit was clearly, he was glowing in his victory. But Sheetal is clearly too young. She's too overwhelmed, and I guess it was the pressure which got her in her solo event. So Sheetal doesn't register a lot of emotions. She has a little smile on her face. I mean, I think the fans are smiling and grinning much more than Sheetal. But she'll get used to it. She's a winner. She will get used to it.
And Sheetal, I because she's so young and innocent, and maybe the magnitude of her being at the Paralympics and being this global superstar hasn't quite reached her yet. But today as well, because she's so young, pressure gets to her easily. And also happiness, because you could see as soon as she was hitting tens, there was a huge smile on her face, and it was just so refreshing to watch someone doing so well. um, but it's been incredible to watch, and she's just 17 years old, so we have a long
A
time
long
ahead.
way, yes.
She has a
A
long
long way
career,
to go.
a long way to go, and we are fortunate enough to have a long time to watch her as well, and we'll be covering her
That's
at the
right.
at Rev Sports. But final
Absolutely,
question.
absolutely.
Sure, Mr. If you could sum up the day, I know it's not over at Paris yet. We also have Deepti Jewanji in action tonight, but if
Yes,
you could sum
yes,
up the
yes,
day,
yes.
gold medals, uh, and so many more. So when you think about this Paralympics campaign so far, it's been really heartwarming and it's been incredible to say the least.
Yes, Nitesh got the gold. We the only disappointment so far has been Shital Devi. We had really pumped up to that, and then that was a dip. Though we completely understood that she's a 17-year-old and not able to perhaps take that pressure. Though I mean, pressure gets to us all, and she's just a 17-year-old. But thereafter, it's been like a dream, medals coming. And what I find is great about this Paralympics campaign is we can now identify so many more winners and athletes going ahead. Like, for instance, Mona Agarwal. I did, a Zoom interview with her, and it was completely revealing this lady's struggle. She's a mother of two. She has, a husband who used to be a para athlete, and now he's had an accident, and he needs to be looked after, and she's still carried on with her sport. These stories, or for instance, Bhavna Chaudhary, who has stepped out of an abusive marriage because her husband said he would break her legs. She is from Gujarat if she even stepped out to play her sport. Bhavna is also in javelin and trains. Under the same coach who had coached Sunil Tanwar, who had coached who had coached Devendraji, who had coached Devendra Jhacharia. So these stories, of people stepping out of abusive relationships, of people, giving it their all despite extremely difficult circumstances, this I think is what is going to be our takeaway from these Paralympics.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for joining. I know you have to walk quite a lot to come outside and join the
Yeah.
live. But thank you so much for joining. And to everyone who's watching, Paralympics is far from over. So keep watching Rev Sports and stay tuned. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.